I'm Marcy Farrow from Mixed Media Girl, and you're watching Hometalk. In today's project, we are going to be creating a geode with these cute glass pieces from the dollar store. And these are just the kind that go in a fish tank, or they're just decorative. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and crack these before putting them into our project. So I've already preheated the oven to 350 Fahrenheit. You can use other temperatures, that's just what I have found works the best. And we're gonna go ahead and bake these for about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back for the next step. All right, so go ahead and fill up a pan or a bowl with ice and water. You need enough to cover all of your glass pieces. And on this step, please make sure you wear safety glasses because the glass could actually pop back at you. So we're gonna go ahead and dump these in here. And you can hear it. They pretty much immediately just fracture. Now because this is ice water, they cool down also really fast, and they're now ready to use. Look how pretty those are. Now I've got my fractured glass pieces here. These are so beautiful. They're iridescent and they've got all that cracking in the middle. One other thing that you can do if you want these pieces to be even smaller is you can actually put them in a bag and take a hammer or something like that and break them up. And I am using this acrylic geode cutout piece. It's clear plastic, and on the other side it does have a piece of paper, which makes for really easy cleanup. First, I'm going to start by placing my glass pieces where I want them before I even get into mixing my resin. This can take a minute. You can pre-glue these pieces down if you want, or you can just kind of set them here. I think I will be using resin to attach these for this case. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set them, and then once I've got my resin mixed up, I'll pour that over these to hold them in place. And I'm gonna have some of these kind of hanging over this inside part here. Don't have it hanging over too much that it'll fall through. I'm using Mixed Media Girl Artist Resin. This is mixed with equal parts A and B. So I'm gonna start off with some of the glitter, and I actually want to pour this over my stones here. So I think it will go well and add just a bit of extra sparkle in there. So I'm gonna start off with the white paste. And you can kind of go, when using a shape like this, you can kind of follow either the outside or the inside. And I tend to kind of do something in the middle. Now, resin is self-leveling, so I'm gonna go ahead and set it down here, and then I'm gonna spread it out a bit with my finger. I'm gonna get in here with the white metallic. That's the one that's mixed with the diamond dust. And I'm gonna go on the outside of this one. And of course, there's gonna be parts here where it runs off the side. That's okay. Same thing, I'm gonna spread it around a little bit. I want this to be a slightly thinner line than the white though. So I'm not gonna spread it around quite as much. And I'm gonna get in here with the pearl. Now the pearl I want right up against these stones in the middle here. And I also want some on the outside. Now I've got all of my colors on here except for the gold. So I'm gonna finish this outside part here with a little more of just that flat white. Now here's where we get to have some fun and get in here with some accents. So I'm gonna take some of this gold and I'm gonna use my stick, and I'm gonna make these thinner lines through some of these parts. I'll do some through the outside here as well. The last thing we need to do is take a torch and get rid of the air bubbles. Then we're gonna leave this to cure, and I'll be right back. Our piece is now completely dry. It is gorgeous. So I just wanted to really quickly show you guys how easy the cleanup on this is. So it's got this brown paper on the back. It can be a little tricky finding a spot to start pulling it from, but then once you get a grip on it, you just go ahead and pull it all off. And you can already see, you're gonna see that beautiful design through here. Okay, we've got the back all cleaned up. It looks beautiful. I still like the front more, but if you wanted to, you could use the other side. Now, what do you do with this at this point? Normally, it's a wall art piece. You hang it up. It's gorgeous, but you could also make it into like a serving tray or maybe a display stand of some sort for, you know, cupcakes, jewelry, nail polish, really anything. So if you want to do that, you could just glue some legs onto the bottom and stand it up. Another thing that you can do is you can glue onto the bottom, and I'll usually actually use resin because it's pretty sturdy, but you could put some sawtooth hangers on the bottom here to hang it with. Or you just hang it through a nail on your wall, or you just set it up and display it, which is what I usually do. And there are actually display stands that you can use. All right, so here it is displayed just on a little table off of my kitchen, and I think it is beautiful.
For this project, you're going to want to run over to your local dollar store and grab some glass gems. Next, find a piece of board, maybe a 1/4 inch thick. What we're going to do is mark the center with a little bit of extra around the edge for our mirror. Put a nail in and use a string to get that perfect circle. Just tie the string on one end, wrap it around your pencil, and just give you a good circle mark right there. Then we're going to cut it out. Go ahead and sand the edges. Next, we got to put the mirror on the board. I went ahead and used some all-purpose glue. I painted the board a little bit of a white wash on the back just so it gives a good color for the backing. Now this all-purpose glue is perfect. All you got to do is lay it down, take the mirror after you got a few marks to center it, and place it on the board. Don't push too hard, but give it some time to set up. Next, you're going to take those glass gems, there's always a flat side, using the same all-purpose glue and a popsicle stick, and you're just going to put a little bit of glue on the back. Just slide them into place. First thing I like to do is circle the mirror, and I'll show you how we do that on this. Just keep going. Once you put it in place, just give it a little bit of a squeeze so it makes sure it sets pretty good. Watch this. Flat side, glue. All you got to do is put it down and it'll go into place. The next thing you're going to do is start the second row. Not all these glass gems are the same size, so they're going to look a little random. So do row 2, row 3, and basically how many rows you want. When you do get to the edge, you can have it stick out a little bit or just have a little bit of the board, completely up to you. I do recommend though using white glue. You're going to want to go ahead and circle the whole board with your gems, and after you're done, it's time for the grout. I went ahead and got some powder grout instead of the pre-mixed. Put your water in and start stirring it. You'll want to use non-sanded grout. It comes out to like a thick yogurt. Once you get it mixed pretty good, add your choice of paint color. I went with the turquoise on this and mix it well. It's going to be a little swirly in the beginning, but all you got to do is give it a good stir. Make sure you get all of the sides. Add more paint if you need to until you get the right color. Once it's all mixed, it's time to add the grout. It's fill in all those grooves. I wore some gloves just because grout can dry your hands out. Keep pushing it on there and get in between every glass gem. Go ahead and smear it all over. I did put some tape down on the mirror just to make cleanup a lot easier. Once you got it down, grab your sponge, squeeze it out, not too damp, and you're just going to start wiping the top. As you can see, it comes right off. Go ahead and rinse out your sponge any chance you get. You want a clean sponge every time. Turn it over and look how it starts to clean right up. Keep going all the way around, and what I did was pull the tape up and give it a little buffing, and that's going to get that grout in between all of the grooves. Now we're going to add our hook or rope to the back and show you the final results. And there it is. It's a perfect addition to my daughter's bathroom. Just a fun look. I'm so glad you joined us, and I can't wait to see you again on Home Talk.